What if I told you that one of the best user's guides for the human mind wasn't written in some modern psychology lab, but on an ancient battlefield thousands of years ago? Today, we're going to crack open the Bhagavad Gita, but we're not looking at it as a history lesson. We're treating it as a surprisingly practical toolkit for mastering your own mind. All right, let's get into it.
So first things first, we've got to figure out where real power actually comes from. And spoiler alert, it's not our muscles, it's not how much money we have or our status. Nope. The source of all our strength, and let's be honest, all of our struggles, is right here, between our ears.
To really get this, let's picture a classic duel. It's a simple question, but the answer really gets to the heart of what it means to be powerful. So who do you think comes out on top?
Well, the winner is the one with the strong mind, every single time. And why is that? Because physical strength is pretty much useless if the mind doesn't know how to use it. Or even worse, if it's so weak it doesn't even realize the strength it has to begin with. A powerful mind has to come first, before you can use any other tool you've got.
And that's really the crucial point here. Your mind is, without a doubt, the most powerful tool you will ever own. Learning how to tune it, how to control it, and how to point it in the right direction, that is the single most important skill you can ever develop for navigating this crazy thing we call life.
So, if we all agree the mind is this important, then where's the instruction manual? Well, that is exactly what brings us to the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient text that's packed with some incredibly modern and practical wisdom. Now, I know when you hear Bhagavad Gita, you might picture some old, rigid religious rulebook. But that's not really what it is at all. It's much better to think of it as a guide. It's not about handing down commandments. It's about explaining the natural laws of how things work, so you can work with them instead of constantly fighting against them.
Just to give you some quick context, the entire Gita is basically a conversation. It's between a warrior named Arjuna and his mentor, Krishna, right before this huge, epic battle. It's a small part of a much bigger story called the Mahabharata. And the whole point of their talk isn't about having blind faith. It's about understanding this universal law of cause and effect, what we call karma, and figuring out how to live a good, skillful life inside that system.
Okay, so let's see how this all comes together into a system we can actually use. The Gita gives us a really clear pathway to mastering our inner world, and we can break it down into 3 key ideas for achieving a state of, well, equanimity. So the ultimate goal here has this really cool Sanskrit name, Sthita Prajna. I know, it's a mouthful, but the idea behind it is something we can all understand. It just describes a person whose mind is steady, it's balanced, and it's not shaken by all the ups and downs that life throws at us. And this quote from the text just nails what that state actually feels like. Someone with this balanced mind doesn't get ridiculously excited by a win or completely crushed by a loss. They treat all of it, the pleasure and the pain, the good and the bad, with the same steady calm, because their inner peace doesn't depend on what's happening on the outside. So how do you get there? The Gita lays out this super clear 3-step path. First, you actively work on achieving that state of equanimity. Second, you really truly understand that every single action has a consequence. That's karma. And third, and this is the tricky part, you act with total dedication. You give it your all, but you do it without being emotionally hung up on the results. You focus on doing the work, not on what you're going to get out of it. But, underneath all of this amazing practical advice, there is the Gita's most radical, most profound, and honestly, its most empowering secret. It's a twist that completely changes how you see the entire text, and maybe even how you see yourself. After all of this deep, spiritual guidance, you'd expect a big final command, right? A thou shalt do this. But the Gita does something completely different. Its deepest wisdom isn't an order you have to obey. It's an invitation for you to consider. And here it is. After explaining literally everything about how the universe works, Krishna says this to Arjuna. Reflect fully on what I have declared to you, and do as you wish. The final instruction is that there is no final instruction. The choice, in the end, is completely yours. Just think about how powerful that one line is. Instead of demanding you have blind faith, it insists on the total opposite. It wants you to ask questions, to think deeply. This message empowers you to reflect, to think for yourself, and to own whatever path you choose. It's like a built-in defense system against anyone who wants to do your thinking for you. Okay, so if the power of choice is the whole point, how do we use it wisely? Well, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, understanding your role in actually crafting your own karmic path.
Think of your life as just one link in a massive, unbroken chain. Everything you are right now is the result of the thoughts and actions of countless people who came before you. And right now, in this very moment, every single thought you have, every action you take, is forging the next links that will shape the future for everyone who comes after you. And what that really means is that everything comes down to right now. Karma isn't some big, abstract idea for later. It's happening in this very second. Every fleeting thought is like a tiny chisel, carving out your reality and your future. Making a conscious effort right here and now to be on a good path, that's the whole secret to a fulfilling life.
Ultimately, the Gita leaves us with this powerful truth. Your mind is your greatest tool. Your thoughts and your choices create your future. The book offers the wisdom, it explains the rules of the game, but then it hands the controls right back to you. The only question left is the same one Krishna asked Arjuna all those years ago. Now that you know all this, what path will you choose?